Hello, my name is Lucas, this is a bit of lit, and I'm here to talk about Arundhati Roy's The Ministry of Utmost Happiness. I hope I said her name right. I have read her other book that came out 20-something years before, which I believe is called The God of Small Things. Yes, The God of Small Things. That was pretty devastating and harsh and hard to read. And this was even harder to read, but in all the wrong ways, I think. Because The God of Small Things, I think, is a brilliant novel. Very moving, really well written characters, and just devastating and heartbreaking. And I felt like the first part of The Ministry of Utmost Happiness was that. But it's more of an exploration. It's not really a novel, it feels like. I mean, there's sort of vignettes that are interconnected in some way. But it really does explore sort of the rise of Hindu nationalism, the very complex problems between India and Pakistan, and especially in Kashmir, and issues dealing with that, and independence, and the rise of Islamophobia, and sort of issues with gender, because the first character we're introduced to is intersex, and in this sense, it's like fictional nonfiction in a way. I mean, it really does get in detail through fictionalized vignettes to get at like the core of the rot of society, the horrors of society, and all the problems that Indian, Kashmiri, or Pakistani people face. Also the caste system in India, and how that interplays with Hinduism, and it's brutal. I mean, you really get a clearer picture of a lot of problems, at least according to Arundhati Roy, her viewpoint on all these problems. In that sense, it's really great, but it's not really a novel. So I feel like it would have been much better. I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more if it was just like a nonfiction book, or a history, or a sociology book or something, and that's kind of what it is. But at the same time, it might have lost its power if it wasn't fictionalized, because at least if it's fiction, we have some characters we can try to attach to and connect with. But yeah, I was more focused on, I feel like it's more focused on the sociological aspect rather than characters, which then makes it a little bit harder to try and put yourself in the position to understand and empathize more. Yeah, I don't think it's like well written, but it's not well written as a novel. I don't know what to say. But what did you think? Did you really enjoy this novel? I didn't care for it. Maybe if it was nonfiction and written as nonfiction, I would have loved it, but it just didn't feel like what it was marketed to me as when I bought it, when it first came out, and I finally read it this year, 6 years later, I think. Anyway.